Have you ever wished you had a wife? I mean, come on, admit it. If you're a busy mom juggling a never-ending to-do list, you got work deadlines, kids' activities, laundry, dinner, then you probably daydreamed about having someone who automatically shares the chores, the emotional labor, and parenting duties. But luckily for you, you don't actually need to get yourself a wife in order to break free. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 secrets from 2-mom households that allow us to split responsibilities more fairly, dodge outdated gender roles, and work together as a true team. And I'm going to tell you how you can take those secrets and put them into action in your own home. This way, you'll be able to reclaim your sanity, lighten your load, and enjoy being a mom again without having to add another spouse to your life. So I'm in a 2-mom household, and it's wonderful. But listen, it's not all rainbows and roses all the time, although we do have our fair share of rainbows around here. But there are many days that I find myself so thankful for the fact that I have a relationship with shared workload and responsibilities. So as recent as 2020, a research study found that even when both parents work full-time, moms typically spend more time on chores, childcare, and household management than the dads. It's a persistent gender bias. Somewhere along the line, we got this message that moms are the default for all things: picking up the kids from school, planning dinner, coordinating doctor's appointments, washing uniforms, and so on. Meanwhile, dads, well, sometimes they mow the lawn, or if you're lucky, maybe they'll take out the trash and help with the dishes. But in a household with 2 moms, we don't assume anything. We can't. That's the beauty of it. We have to consciously decide who does what. We look at what we're good at, or at least what we can tolerate, and then we split things accordingly. For instance, I'm way better at helping with essays and writing projects, while my kid's other mom is the artsy one, who handles the science fair poster boards and crafts. But guess what? We're both pitching in for homework overall. When cooking, let's just say that's not one of my main skill sets, so it's rare you'll find me crafting a 3-course meal in the kitchen. I do make a mean protein pancake, however, and I'm very adept at ordering food in to be picked up. So secret number 1, there are no preset roles. We choose our tasks, not our shoulds. So how can you make this work? Well, be intentional about how chores are distributed and balanced. When both partners are explicit and intentional in choosing roles, you're way less likely to end up feeling overworked or resentful. You can do this by having a direct conversation with your partner about who does what. And don't wait until after you had kids. Lay out those everyday tasks like picking up the kids when they're sick, grocery shopping, laundry, bedtime routines, birthday parties, and divvy them up based on interest, skill level, or schedule. And be willing to share. Don't let anyone assume that just because you're the mom, you have to be the default chauffeur, nurse, or chef. It's perfectly okay. In fact, it's healthy to say, hey, you're better at cooking. Can you take that? I'll do the laundry and help with homework. And maybe it even shifts from day to day. Here's the thing for moms. Do you feel like the default parent for every little thing? Planning the meals, the house scheduling, and essentially running the entire home? There's a reason women feel like the household CEO, and it's an appointed and not asked for position. I was working with a woman recently who shared that sometimes she wonders if her kids even know their dad exists when they have a problem, because it's always mom, 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 mom. I'm going to tell you that you might be part of the problem, because us moms, we're so willing to be there for our kids. We know they expect it, and we actually like that. But it does get depleting when it happens all the time and you feel like you have no help. So there's a solution. Kids learn by watching everything. So if they see mom always being the one to rush and solve their problems, dad is the one that goes and fixes the sink, they start believing that that's how the world should be. In 2-mom households, there's no default dad job because there's no dad. So kids see a broader range of possibilities. Anyone can cook, handle bedtime, or even earn the paycheck. This opens up kids' worldview and prevents them from thinking that specific tasks are inherently men's work or women's work. One of my favorite parts about being in a same-sex relationship is that my kids see 2 strong, capable women living a life without a man. Well, why does this matter? It's powerful for my sons to witness women do all the things society traditionally labels as man tasks. And guess what? Because they see that women can do man stuff, they also realize that they can do women stuff too, like cooking, cleaning, or being nurturing. This is the man thing and this is the woman thing, it's kind of silly when you break it down. And those stereotypes end up hurting everyone. In our household, we basically create our own definitions of who does what, who responds to what. We make sure we're always available to support each other. So we need men to step up and show care, compassion, and partnership, just as much as we need women to feel empowered to do those handy tasks. This is secret number 2. We break down the stereotypes that disadvantage moms. How does this help you in your overloaded work, you might ask? Well, when both of you are showing up to do it all, the kids stop defaulting everything to mom. Mom, mom, mom. You get called for almost everything, am I right? When they see dad and mom doing the same things, they stop automatically running to mom for every problem. That means fewer constant interruptions for you and a more balanced distribution of tasks and willingness to help. So here's what you can do to make that happen. Rotate your chores. If your child has only ever seen mom cook, let dad, or the partner who usually avoids the kitchen, plan and cook a meal sometimes. Your kids will learn that cooking isn't just a mom duty. Share routines. If mom typically does the bedtime stories, switch it up. Maybe dad leads the story time a couple nights a week, or you both do it together. Skill swap. Encourage each other to try new tasks. If you've always handled the bills, have your partner do it occasionally and let the kids see it. Showing kids that tasks, support, and help aren't tied to a gender helps them grow up believing they're free to explore any skill or passion. You can really help your kids understand this by saying it out loud. Narrate what's happening. So for example, say, hey, I'm going to go fix the leaky faucet right now, or I'm going to help you with this art project, and dad's going to do the math homework with you later. Or even, I'm going to stay and get my work done right now, but go ask your dad. He would love to help you. When kids see a household that intentionally breaks gender stereotypes, they learn a powerful lesson. What people do isn't dictated by whether they're a mom or a dad, but about who's interested, who's skilled, and who simply has the time or the willingness to show up. That mindset will serve them for life, no matter what family structure they grow up and create for themselves. Okay, the next one might seem obvious, but it makes a huge difference. Do you ever feel like you carry most of the load? Does your household work in a way that if it relates to the kids, it doesn't get done if you don't do it? I was working with a client, let's call her Sarah, who confessed that she felt like her family's personal assistant. She told me, if I don't organize my kids' schedules, nobody does. If I don't pick out tomorrow's outfits or pack the lunches, guess what? It just doesn't happen. She was exhausted, constantly juggling work deadlines and a household she felt she was solely responsible for. It was like she was on call 24/7, making sure every little task got done, because if she didn't, nobody else would. And that's where so many moms find themselves stuck. So Sarah and I focused on this next thing, and it changed everything for her. Have an equal partnership mindset. With two moms, no single parent is seen as the primary parent by default. So lesbian couples often develop a more explicit, negotiated sense of shared responsibility, response, and authority. So when you take this mindset, 3 things are going to happen. It's going to be amazing. The first is you're going to have a reduced mental load. And who doesn't need a bit of that? You're going to have reduced resentment towards your partner for not helping out. And you're going to have better communication, because that's what solid, equal, balanced relationships have. An equal partner mindset is going to help you because it breaks the unspoken assumption that you should carry the bulk of the parenting duties or the household chore load. If your mindset is that your partner should be defined by being equal, well, then you're going to advocate for that equality to show up in life. And that means you're going to be more likely to hold your partner accountable for being a real partner. It's like Sheryl Sandberg said, you want to make your partner a real partner. I want to underscore the importance of your mindset. A lot of what we've been talking about here is your mindset, which is your mental approach to your relationships, to your roles as parents, with your spouse, and to the way you both show up in your home. I've got a course called Mindset Mastery that's designed to help working women master higher level mindset so they can excel and meet all the challenges that they face head on. And I'm going to link to that in the description. So definitely check that out. How do we bring this equal mindset into our home? I'm glad you asked. You and your partner need to see yourself as equals and have conversations that are going to make that happen. And I mean candid conversations about decision making and parenting approaches. Conversations about how you both show up in the home, what you would like from each other, how you're going to work together. Make sure you're both involved in decisions and discuss ways that you can contribute equally over the long run. Of course, sometimes one of us needs to pick up more slack for a partner, and that's okay. We do that for each other because we love each other. But when you zoom out, you should see balance. All right, even if you implement all those points above, you and your partner might still find yourself feeling overwhelmed, like you're always underwater, with little time to celebrate each other and celebrate the relationship. That's because working, raising kids, maintaining a household is hard work. It's demanding work. Even couples who fully share the load and have open conversations still feel overwhelmed together. So how can we fix that? Here's another secret of lesbian moms, and that's relying on the broader support networks. This could be immediate family, but often it's our chosen family, the close friends and supportive communities that we've created. The path to parenting for us through IVF, adoption, surrogacy, blending families, it's more complicated and it requires extra support along the way. When my kids were young, our best friends were another couple. And between the four of us, there was one point where we had 5 kids under 5 years old. There was no way that we could have survived without each other. When all of our kids were little, they would joke that they actually had 4 moms. Not to mention, throughout my life, I had to rely on my parents, my sisters. There's just no way to survive without a support. I mean, the old adage that it takes a village is actually a critical truth. So rather than trying to be a superhero who does it all, I want you to actively build a support system. This might mean teaming up with other moms for babysitting swaps, asking friends and family for help, or developing a co-op style arrangement to lighten everyone's load. It most certainly means being willing to ask for help when you need it so that you have it. When you apply these 4 secrets that lesbian moms have nailed, your household is going to run smoother and you're going to feel more supported and less overwhelmed in your role as a mom. But because I know how easy it is to get overworked and feel overworked, I've got a video that outlines some hidden signs that you're burnt out and that you need a break and what you can do about it. Nobody loves to feel burnt out. Nobody loves to feel depleted. So don't forget to check out the link to that video in the description. If this video was helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you being here. I know for us working moms, time is our most valuable resource. So I'm always so happy that you spend your time with me. Thanks so much. I'm Lori Sopizio. I'll see you in the next video.